All right, let's jump into the next question. It's from Derek. He says, I've been listening for a bit and I'm in the middle of step 3 thanks to your advice. But this is hard. How do I keep myself motivated to push through? I know this is good for me long term. It just sucks. So it is true. Like when you're on some of those earlier steps, they're super necessary, like good for you. This is great. But they can be tricky. So what would you say to him?
Here's what my experience with step 3 specifically. Because by the way, Brian, will you hold the thing up? We have
The thing.
The financial order of operation.
Like you have to ask.
I mean, I got a lot of things over here. I mean, you got to be careful.
Got heart palpitations. He forgot about the thing.
So this is a thing.
If you go to moneyguy.com/resource, you can have your copy. You said that you're square in the middle of step 3. That's high interest debt. So you're trying to knock out, maybe it's consumer debt, maybe it's credit cards. And it's hard to stay motivated because there are a couple different ways you can do it. You can do the debt snowball where you attack the smallest balances, or you can do the debt avalanche where you attack the highest interest rate balances. But sometimes it feels kind of mundane. You're like, okay, every month I'm like doing this, and how do I stay motivated? For me, math is motivating. And what I do is I would go calculate. That's right, seriously. Did I really just say that? I would go calculate every month when you go look at how much interest you are paying. Go look at your debt and think about the interest rate that's applied to whatever debt you're doing and just calculate it. And maybe it's $100, $200, $300. I don't know the number, but think about how much interest is accumulating every year. And when you think about high interest debt, especially on like consumer goods, that's kind of like money that just is getting thrown away. You're wasting. It's not soldiers in your army of dollar bills working for you. So what I would encourage you to do to stay motivated is every month that you pay that off, that dollar waste goes down and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And let that be the fuel that keeps you fired up to keep knocking out that debt. Because once you get back to zero, once you get that debt knocked out, then is when the fun starts. Then you get to really start amping up your wealth building process.
Derek, I want to, because look, I get it, is when you're in debt, there's, because a lot of times I feel like in America, we have this consumption problem to where we've been fed a lie where, you know, you can afford anything you want at $200 at a time. So you're swimming against the current when you're actually paying down the debt. So I think it is important to have a tool or something that keeps you centered. I'd encourage you to go to moneyguy.com/resources. We have a wealth multiplier tool. There's some downloads there as well, but I like the tool because it lets you play around with what every dollar that, or even now you with the tool, you can actually put in beyond $1. You can put in what your debt is and so forth to figure out what that would be worth for you in the future. But then here's another thing that you can think about. Typically your credit card debt or whatever debt you're facing in step 3, its interest rate is going to be substantially larger than even what you are hoping to make off of your investments. So you're not only trying to regain what your money can become, you're fighting against, in the good fight, to pay off the detrimental, punitive effect of that high interest debt that's out there. So stay the course, because that's the part. You want to own your time that much sooner, and you're not going to be able to do it with debt. So stay the course, and you're going to be a better person for it. You're going to own your time sooner. You're going to be able to take a little bit of today for that great, big, beautiful tomorrow, and that's the main thing that you should be focusing on.